I see people I know here. Thank you so much for coming, really, all of you. And thank you for allowing me to be here. This actually started out to be a workshop. But the workshop that I do all over California is 2 hours long. And so I wanted to cut it down to service time. So that's what I'm going to do. Aren't you glad? Thank God. I know. Everything for years now, I've been doing this for 18 years, and it seems like everything I do and every song I write and every workshop and every show I do is based on Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. How many people know Eckhart's work? Of course. The minute I read it, many years ago, 20 years ago, I felt like that's it. And so now it's in my soul. I can't help it. I'm not even trying to repeat anything he says because he's amazing. But it's just how I'm working it, just how I'm doing it. So I'm not going to teach or preach. I'm just going to share, really. That's the most honest thing to do. So I did a workshop in Florida, and there was a guy in the workshop, and he said he was a scientist. And he said he'd actually measured how many thoughts we have a day. Because if you know Eckhart Tolle's work, it's about thoughts or the mind chatter, and you probably don't have any. But if you do, versus the still small voice inside. And what do you want to call it? God or soul or intuition or spirit? But or the truth. That's what I have always been hungry for, finding that. So anyway, when I heard him say that, 60,000 thoughts a day, I thought, yeah, all right. Okay, so I'm going to write a song about that, because I write a song about everything. And so I did, and it's kind of a rap song, even though I'm older. Okay, so here it is. There it is. That's sort of my mind, like popcorn popping. Okay. 60,000 thoughts a day. When I'm at work or I'm at play. They're in my mind all night and day. 60,000 thoughts a day. And they're all the same thoughts for me, kind of over and over and over. What do I have to do today? Where do I have to go today? What am I going to wear today? What about my hair today? And what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? Me, 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 me. I may not be much, but I'm all that I think about. So what do we do about it? Eckhart Tolle says, be here now. So when I first heard that, I thought, well, of course I'm here now. Aren't I here now? What is be? What is be here now? There's so many, many thoughts going on inside my head. Please tell me how. What is here? Where's here? Am I thinking about the past or way ahead into the future? Am I here? I don't think so. I want to know what goes on in my mind. It's not pretty, but here it is. Oh, I've got so many things to do today, and what's for dinner? What you said to me, and what I should have said, and what's for dinner? Am I gaining weight? I should work out. I wonder what's for dinner. Am I here? Next question. Who is God? They say God is love. she's too fat. He's so rich and I want that, and I'm too short and I'm too dumb. I'm not smart and I'm no fun and blah, 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 blah. When I go looking in my mind, I hear oh so many voices, but there's so many choices. They scramble up my brain. I've tried and tried to sort it out, but lately I just want to scream and shout. I give it all to you, God. I give it all to you. I surrender. I give it all to you. I give up. Notice the silence. No more thought, no more fear. Could it be just for a moment I was here? Not for long. It's okay. Well, at least I understand now how to pray. There was nothing in my head but God today. Nothing in my head but God today. Thank you. Thank you. Wouldn't that be great if there was nothing in your head but God today? See, the thing is, I don't know about you all, but I spent more than half my life not even knowing I had thoughts. I didn't know I had thoughts, honestly, because I was my thoughts. I mean, they were glommed on. I believed every single thing this said. I thought it was law. And I did everything it said. Have a drink. Okay. Have chocolate. It sounds like a great idea. Whatever it said about people. I had a thing about bald men that I in my mind they were more virile, right? And maybe that's true. I don't know. That may be true. But I had opinions, judgments about everybody. Short people, and usually they were negative, you know. Short people were this gray-haired people, tall people, white-haired people, actors, Chinese, black, white. Do you know? Right now, see, if you're honest, how many people are judging me? Really? My son is, I know. He is. I'm sure he's thinking, oh, God, please. But I mean, it's interesting. It's just normal, natural. Isn't it? It's too bad, but it's true. And I'm judging you. I like that shirt there. I do. That's nice. I'm seeing people I know, and really good singer, and I want to be a good singer, like blah, blah. Just the mind just goes. Blah, 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 blah. Now, when I started meditating, and I started meditating when I was in New York City. I was an actress, And the reason I started meditating, I think I read it in the New York Times, meditation makes you more relaxed, and therefore you get more money, and therefore you get more sex, and therefore you know, on and on. So I did it, honestly, so that I would get a job, acting-wise. I did it so that I would get a Broadway show. I meditated so that I would win a Tony, get an Obie, you know, get a money. I don't think God cares why you do it, you know, or why you do a spiritual path even. I think he probably just thinks that's a hoot, you know. But that's why I did it. And that's when I learned what my mind was actually thinking. Because before that, I was run by my mind. Whatever it said, I did. I wasn't certainly aware of anything. So when I sat, what I heard was shocking, actually. Things like, you're no good. You're bad, something's wrong with you, you'll never make it, you're icky, and on and on. It was awful, you know? And that was just stuff about me. Then there was all the stuff about you. You were icky too. Everybody was icky. So, at first, I was shocked and actually humiliated that I felt that way, that I thought those thoughts, because I thought that's not nice, and not nice for me, not nice for you all. God, that I judged everybody, man, it's embarrassing, you know. So I meditated enough for the wrong reasons, and then I finally thought it was funny. After getting over the embarrassment, it was like a hoot. And then it was like being on a train and watching the scenery pass. You know, you see all this stuff and you hear all this stuff, but oh well. It's just, finally, it got to be just thoughts. But only after I met Eckhart Tolle. Because I didn't know what I was going to do with this stuff, except meditate every day blindly and hope the thoughts might go away or I might feel better, you know. But what Eckhart Tolle said, and what I love so much, was because when I met him, I thought, I want to be like him, so I want to have no thoughts at all. Have you ever tried that? Surely somebody here has tried to do that. Have you? Yeah, trying to have no thoughts. It's impossible. So what I loved about Eckhart was he said, it's okay. We're human. It's okay to have thoughts. We're going to have thoughts. But you don't have to act them out, because I was acting out some thoughts. You know, getting mad, yelling, you mother, you know. Well, yeah, you know. So somebody just raised their hand. I think it was Stuart, but that wasn't a sign of anything, was it? He was just raising his arm. Okay. Okay. So when he said, he kept using the word, and I loved it, allow. And he said, they're just thoughts, unless you make something out of it, like, and I did for years, you know, the thought of, I'm not good, I'm bad, something's wrong with me. You can go down for years with that one, can't you? And go into therapy and go into EST and everything else to try to get better with that one. But what he said was, it's just a thought. And now I still get it. Even though I've been meditating now, God, for 40 years, I still get that thought, I'm no good, I'm bad, you know. And I have to go, and he encouraged this. It's okay. Aw, it's okay. Yeah, but what if it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, but what he said, and what I know, not just I know. It's okay. It's all right. It's sort of like having a pet monkey, that's just nuts. And that's, you carry it around, you love it, but it just goes, and you go, oh, that's sweet. It's okay. But it's okay. It's all right. So he also said the same thing about feelings. Now, I don't know about you all, but I would rather do anything than feel my feelings. I would rather eat. Notice what I say first. Eat, watch TV, read a book, go for a run, call somebody, do anything but feel my feelings. That's hard. Try to get above them. It's okay. You're fine. You're good. And what he said, and this is what I know helps me, feel them. Just feel them. Make yourself, well, I shouldn't say that, but I just tell you what I do. I have to sit and feel them, whatever it is. And I want to go into my head, and blame somebody. Well, I feel sad because what he said, I was no. But what I've learned is to sit and just feel the feeling everywhere. Feel it in your throat, feel it in your stomach. Just allow that to come up. So it's like having little spiritual windshield wipers every day to notice the thoughts, not buy them, don't believe them, and just go on. So it's a way of life for me because I felt better. Also, I was speaking a lot and doing a lot of singing in churches, and I felt like I had to stay clean, and not have gunk, not have all this, may I say crap, in my head. So that's what I did. Now, after a while, what happened was something I really didn't expect to happen. And what it was, one day I realized, and this took a few years, I realized I was now out. And I didn't know that I'd been in, working so hard, in, noticing the thoughts, being aware of the, and noticing my feelings and being aware and feeling. I had been so busy inside, trying to do the right thing. And one day I noticed, my God, wow, I'm out. And I could actually see people. And I actually felt love and compassion for people. And this just happened. This was like grace. I didn't make this happen. And it wasn't enlightenment, because I had a different picture of enlightenment, but it was almost better because it was to feel love was so nice for people, Because I used to pretend, when I used to go to Marianne Williamson, that was the very first spiritual thing I ever went to, besides 12-step programs, which are wonderful. But in Marianne's, and in churches, everybody's so kind of huggy. They hug. They're so sweet. They hug, and Marianne's people were talking so softly. And so this is the first time I'd ever been to Marianne's, and so I talked softly, very softly. Then they would say things like, at the end of the service, they would say, "I love you," to me, And I'd think, oh, okay. So I'd say it back, I love you, in that way, that soft thing that they do. But I knew I didn't. I wanted to. And I thought maybe if I, said it enough, I would or something. But I knew I didn't. So when this thing happened to me, that I felt, honest to God, love, I don't know that I feel it right now. I wish I could tell you I did, but I think I'm a little scared right now. So that kind of blocks it, But when I get out of here, man, I'll feel so much love for you guys. I'm so grateful you came. So that was just wonderful, and that has not gone. Now, something happened to me. Oh, and so during that, I knew what I wanted to do. So it was no longer wanting a lot of money or no longer wanting to be a star. Or what it was I wanted to be of service. I knew what we were here to do. God, we were here to help. And at first I thought, oh, God, thank God, now I know what I'm supposed to do here, because otherwise you go, God, what do you want me to be, an accountant? What am I supposed to do, Now I knew I wanted to be of service. And I thought, well, do I have to go to Nicaragua or Africa? Or, do you have to go to extremes? Jesus, But then I realized it was moment by moment, because I was walking along the street and somebody came up that I didn't know, somebody passing, and she looked, that look, when people are going, they're in your head, their heads. And she looked sad, and I just looked at her and I thought, look at her and just see her. Look at her eyes. And I did, and she woke up kind of from the, and I saw kind of a light come in her eyes, and I smiled at her. And I thought, see, you can do this anywhere, at any time. It can be little, and it can be something so close to you. You don't have to travel, You can bake a pie or make a nice meal or give somebody a hug or listen. God, nobody listens, To just listen to somebody is big. So my thing was singing and stuff, so I did that. And I look around the room and I see people here who are serving. They're doing service. I don't know if they know it or not, but Susan, you're so beautiful. I know what you do. And Faye, the humor in this room, the talent in this room. Yeah. Yes, I'm looking at the few people that I know here who are very talented and are giving their service, but there's everybody else too. And you're giving whatever your thing is. It's so great. Whatever your thingy is. And you know so much about politics and you serve in that way. That's so great. So I'm getting the 5-minute mark sign here, and I want to get the next thing in, because my service was like going around and singing and doing and speaking. But if you can't do that, in your meditation in the morning, this is huge. Have you thought of, and this room is full of light right now, have you thought of sending that light out? In fact, why don't we right now, I've got 5 minutes, close your eye. Now I've got 4 minutes. They're strict here with those minutes. Really, if you don't mind, close your eyes, and I'll just tell you what I do and do whatever you want. But when you're meditating or you're just noticing your breath with your eyes closed, and you get to that point where you're feeling calm, you're noticing your thoughts, you're noticing your breath, there's a point where you could say to God, actually, I want to volunteer. Send your light through me, through my head, up through my toes, all up and down my chakras. Send your light through me. I volunteer to be a vessel, a receptacle, to send it out to the world, because, my God, you guys, the world really needs the light right now. So if you're willing to be just a receptacle for God, send it out. Now, send it to the fires. Send it to the people who are suffering from that. Send it to the immigrants, kids who are separated from their parents. Send it where you want to, people who are sick. But send it out. We can send it out. And that's Joel Goldsmith's world work. And I have papers about that, all about Joel's sending out the light, where I sell my CDs. And by the way, I'm giving them away today. And I'm giving away that paper of Joel's. But this, if you want to do it, if you have a desire to do that, it's a wonderful thing to do. So thank you for sending that out now. I do have one more song. If I have 2 minutes. No, I don't. I don't have 2 minutes. I have 1 minute? Okay. Okay, this is fast. Okay. Feel it, feel it. Let yourself just feel it, then let it go. Feel it. As long as you need to feel it, then you're back in the flow. Okay, everybody stand up and move. Feel it. As long as you need to feel it, you're back in the Let yourself just feel it, then let it go. Feel it, feel it, then you're back in the flow. All right.
Freddie Weber, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stand out here and let's give her some love. Yeah. Do you feel it? Good. You don't have to wait till you get home. But I do have a question for you. What kind of pies do you bake? You said you could go bake a pie. Do you like to bake pies? Oh, I was wondering. Okay. Because I was going to ask your son if you actually bake pies. Okay. All right. Thank you.